Here we have the HP Victus gaming laptop. It is a 15.6-inch Hewlett-Packard. Now, everybody that watches this channel knows that we don't really love Hewlett-Packard. You know what, let me back up here for a moment. Have you ever been told something where it's too good to be true? And the lesson you always learn is that if it's too good to be true, then it probably is. And that's kind of how I feel about this computer. It starts at $849, but it gives you a lot of bang for your buck when you're scrolling through Amazon or the online store in which to buy this particular computer. You see that it literally has twice the power of everything else out there, and for literally about $600 to $700 less. So, of course, you're gonna want to buy it, right? Well... Let's get some specs out of the way really quick. Comes with 32 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM. You can't upgrade it because it's maxed out. It has a 2 terabyte PCI Express solid state drive in it, which again, awesome. A lot of horsepower, a lot of space. Comes with the 12th generation i5 processor, and it comes with a GTX 1660 graphics card with 4 gigabytes of video RAM. Also has the Intel UHD graphics in there as well. It can switch between them to kind of conserve battery life or be good at gaming. Now, all of this can come bundled for about $849, which is exceptional value. So we are going to rate this computer. For the first time, we are going to rate any computer. For the first time we have rated a computer, this one gets a 10 out of 10 in terms of specs. It really, truly is incredible bang for your buck. And even though it is a Hewlett-Packard, we're gonna have to sort of tip our hat to it because, well, damn. There's a couple of other things about this computer that are not too bad, such as the keyboard. Keyboard gets a 9 out of 10. It's got the full-size numlock on the right side there for data entry. It has a backlight on it. It is tactile, responsive, and almost mechanical feel. It's accurate. You won't do a whole lot of typos. Only thing kind of weird about it is the font, but the keycap color is solid too, even though HP usually has a tendency of using silver keycaps. They didn't here. So keyboard, great. Trackpad. Trackpad gets a 7 out of 10. It's okay, it's big, it's got decent multi-gesture support, and it doesn't ghost and it goes where you want to. My problem with it is that it just sort of feels a little bit chintzy. So like when you try to like move around or tap on things, it's got this very sort of weird, sort of kind of mushiness to it that, I don't know, it just doesn't feel that good to operate. So it's a fine trackpad. It's not the best, not the worst either. It's okay, 7 out of 10 is a decent score. Now, let's talk about the LCD, because that's another thing that's gonna be kind of very attractive about this computer, especially for gamers. Comes with a 15.6-inch full high-definition display. It is non-touch, but it is 144 hertz. And that's really nice for people that are, for gamers, because they're gonna be able to just kind of get that sort of immersive, sort of good feeling about what they're watching on screen. So as you're slaughtering people in Fortnite, you can, you know, it looks good while doing it. It's got decent colors. The viewing angle is also okay. It's not too bad. It doesn't have HDR, but it does have HDR streaming support. Brightness on it, about 350. You are going to struggle under direct sunlight, or like if you're outside, like, you know, in a cafe, college campus, this kind of thing, or right by a window. Even though it is a matte display, it is still gonna be a little bit on the dimmer side, but even the brightness is okay, and we do actually like that it's a matte display too. So display on this gets a 7 out of 10. It's just not the crispest display that we've seen, but again, for a gaming computer and for the price, you really can't go wrong. It's probably closer to like an 8 out of 10. All in all, display on it is pretty solid. Speakers on this computer get a 6 out of 10. They're loud and they're usable, and they've got some decent clarity in the highs, mids, and lows, but they don't really distort too bad, but they do just kind of overall sound like garbage. They're okay, but you know, most gamers are going to be using headphones anyway, so that's kind of a moot point, but nevertheless, they get a 6 out of 10. I/O on this computer isn't too terrible either. On this side, you've got a USB-C/display port, so you can plug a monitor up to it as well, have good data speeds. You've got a talking gigabit Ethernet jack. You've got a USB, traditional type A USB super speed port, and then HDMI. And then on this side, and we had to plug it in because it kept running out of juice. On this side, you got a TRRS jack. You've got another USB super speed port, and then of course where you plug it in, because for 850 bucks, HP ain't gonna give you solar charging energy stuff on it. I gotta come up with a new tagline. I/O on it's an 8 out of 10. There's really not a whole lot that it is missing other than maybe another USB-C port, possibly Thunderbolt. But for a gamer, this thing is going to probably do just fine. Because I mean, ultimately the purpose of this laptop is to be able to take it somewhere and, you know, like again, college, a dorm room, a friend's house, a LAN party, if those even exist anymore. And then you can, you know, game with the thing. With that GTX 1660 in it, let's go ahead and show the benchmark here. So Nova Bench does a 3036. We tried to use User Bench as we are known to do on this channel, but once again, it gave us the missing SSD error. User Bench, you suck. We're not gonna use you anymore. And you know, so yeah, I mean, it's a powerful computer. This will be good for a college student that needs something that is good for productivity, good for Word documents, typing, Excel, that stuff. I actually think you could also have a good experience with CAD on this computer as well. So it's just got enough horsepower to be able to do some CAD stuff, rendering, maybe even a little bit of 4K video editing too. You know, as long as it's maybe not like raw or anything too crazy, but heavily compressed should be fine. And you know, it's not gonna play like AAA titles at ultra settings, but you're gonna have a decent gaming experience. They went with a 1080p panel because with the lower resolution, but that 1660 in there, it's gonna give you, again, some okay graphics power. Minecraft, Fortnite, all that stuff will run just fine. If you're playing GTA 5 or RDR2, you might just need to pull it down to like maybe like medium settings or something like that. But overall, it's okay. Mobility on it, 6 out of 10. It's a heavy computer, it's thick, the materials on it are pretty decent, but it's not a traveling machine. So if you are somebody that's going in and out of an airplane, this just isn't gonna be for you, and you can't charge it on the USB-C either. So mobility, yeah, takes a bit of a nosedive there. Overall, we've announced some fairly, and I know I'm blasting through this one. Overall, we have announced some fairly impressive specs on this HP Victus computer. But, oh, and battery life on it, by the way, too, kind of stinks. About practically speaking, you'll only get about maybe like 7 to 8 hours, and that is with, obviously, if it has to switch over to the non-NVIDIA card. Oh, and I did forget to talk about features. Let's brush by that real quick. So, features, get a 7 out of 10. You do have a webcam at the top. There is no privacy shutter on there. Here's what the webcam footage looks like now. Here's a test of the webcam on the HP Victus. As you can see, the footage is pretty lousy. It is noisy, it is not colorful, it doesn't expose well. So yeah, it's gonna be fine for like a meeting or something like that, but you won't be able to do much else with it. It has Wi-Fi 6, it has Bluetooth, it does not have a Windows Hello compatible camera. In fact, the camera really isn't that good at all. It doesn't have a Windows Hello compatible fingerprint reader either. It doesn't have meaningful HDR support. About the best that you are getting from this thing is a 144 Hz screen, which, you know, we think most laptops should be coming with that these days anyway, but still, props to HP for at least putting that into a gaming computer. So yeah, features, 7 out of 10. Now, why don't we recommend this computer? Why don't we like it? Well, aside from the fact that it's an HP, which means that its reliability is absolutely atrocious. I actually don't know why it is working now because we had to go through 2 of these and both of them upon boot up crashed. They blue screened and numerous times through the Windows 11 setups. Every time it got to the update section or where it had to try to resolve some drivers or do some updates there, it would crash. Or you'd plug in a dongle in the USB into one of the USB ports and it would crash. So eventually we were able to get it to boot into Windows. We were able to do a BIOS update and a bunch of drivers updates, and it has been behaving and performing just fine, with one exception. It also has some clicking that comes from the speakers, and it doesn't seem to do anything. It's just a clicking. It's maybe a grounding issue where they didn't quite ground the speakers properly in the chassis. As a result, you get a click sometimes. It's not done it since we started this video, and you probably can't pick up on it with the mic anyway. But regardless, the quality on this computer just, I don't know, you're just taking a gamble. I mean, for 850 bucks, you are getting a lot of bang for your buck. You'll be able to do CAD work, probably even some audio processing and stuff like that on here too. You do have that one USB super speed port or USB-C port where you're gonna be able to plug in, switch, some microphones, that kind of stuff. I do think this is a good computer for light gamers, for college students, for CAD workers. If you're a real serious gamer though, and you're not on like a budget, I would probably look elsewhere, maybe like an Asus TUF or even Alienware, something like that. But if you're somebody that really just can't break that $1,000 mark, but you need the 2 terabytes of storage, and you need a little bit of graphic oomph and you kind of really want that 144 hertz screen, there just isn't another option out there. HP will warranty this thing for a year, but you know, you're dealing with HP customer service, which is about as effective as like a fruit fly. So I don't know. I don't recommend it, but I also recommend it for those that need a cheap gaming kind of laptop. Just make sure you update your BIOS, update your drivers. That's definitely going to be the most important and immediate things. And then, you know, hopefully you don't have clicking in your speakers either, and hopefully it lasts longer than a couple of years, which, I don't know. But that's the HP Victus. It's okay, but it's an HP. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us in the comments section. If you decide that you want to buy this computer, please use our affiliate link. It helps support this channel. We do not have a Patreon or anything like that yet, and or any kind of crazy sponsorships, because we really want to try to deliver good quality content to the viewer that's like kind of uninterrupted and unadulterated. So buying that stuff through our affiliate links helps us a lot. Otherwise, we hope this video was helpful. Please like, subscribe. We hope you enjoyed, and we will be back with another video really soon. Oh, and actually, I'm sorry, cut back here for a second. I did forget to say, that gives this laptop, by the way, a 7.5 out of 10, which, it's respectable. I think it's better than the Toshiba Dynabook, I think. So, yeah, I mean, All right, now we will be back with another video really soon. I am not even joking right now. Not literally 3 seconds after I cut the camera, it blue screened. Sorry about the noise out there. There is somebody blowing leaves outside of her office. But anyway, it blue screened immediately after I cut the camera. That is pretty wild stuff. I don't even know what to say about that. But nevertheless, there, you had it. There's proof. There was blue screen right there. So yeah, should you buy this computer? I don't know. You're on your own. Just saying.